Hello, welcome to my Dreamcast. This is episode 6, Late to Dinner. For this episode, I will be talking about a dream that I had a while ago, just like episode 5. I recently listened to the voice message that I sent corresponding to this one as well, and it was another one that I really remember vividly. So I wanted to make a video about it, just talking about everything that happened. Today I have two guests with me. I have my younger sibling,
Hello.
and I have my mom with me as well.
Hello.
They will be participating in the conversation, so whenever they have questions or if they have comments on the dream, then they'll speak up and I'll answer their questions or respond to their comments, questions, or concerns. That being said, so the dream starts off with me at a park in Susan. No, Susan is my old car. It was rusty ass minivan, and I was sitting in Susan with one of my old friends, actually my ex-girlfriend, and we were just hanging out at this park, and we had like all the trees up in front of us, and there was a road going like as far as I can see this way and as far as I can see that way, and then like on the other side of the road it was like a hill up, so I think it might have been close to like a stadium or something, maybe close to where I used to go to school. But we were sitting in the car, and like in the dream, I realized that I needed to get, gas in Susan. So I started going down the road, kind of this way, not this way, because we were kind of facing this way. So I started going off to the road. My ex-girlfriend just completely disappears from the passenger seat, and now Susan is a bike, and the road is like not as enclosed in the environment. I'm actually up. There's like a whole interstate off to my left side now, and I'm going along with the right lane, but it's like blanked out. But I'm riding a bike, and it's this side road kind of elevated higher than the interstate, and like I can see all of the cars going back and forth, and there's like the billboards up like to my right side, and the road is kind of, it's really weird because the road doesn't seem like it's really made for cars, because it's, first of all, because it's kind of narrow, but there's also like features on the road. I remember in one part there was a big curve that we went around with a drop off on the left side, and on that curve there was an option, like an optional trail that you could go off on the side, and there was like a little rock jump at the end where you could go off at the end of the curve and go back onto the main road. And then there was also like a quarter pipe type part where like the road dipped down and then it came up to like that, you know what I'm saying? And it was just the strangest experience having that happen like right after I had just got done like being in the car with like one of my old friends. And after that I kind of made it to the place that I was having dinner at, and yeah, I was late for dinner because I was supposed to meet my dad at this restaurant, the restaurant where or the restaurant that was being depicted in the dream was this old Chinese food place, but they weren't serving Chinese food, because why would a Chinese food restaurant serve Chinese food? You know what I'm saying? So they were just serving regular diner food like they do at my regular workplace. And I sat down with my family, and they apparently, before I got there, they had ordered this appetizer called a blooming onion, and it came out, and somehow it was the absolute worst blooming onion I have ever seen in my life. So when you're making a blooming onion, you do dry, it's like the flour blend, and then you do the wet, and you go back into the flour and coat it all up, and you got to get in between all the little folds, and then you put it in the fryer, and it fries up, gets all crispy. It's like an onion, it's like a blooming onion ring. You know what I'm saying? Like the entire onion is an onion ring. Well, it wasn't like that. So somehow they had figured out a way to burn the onion. Like the onion flesh itself was completely burned. It was like black. Maybe the onion was just completely rotten, and that was why it was like charred to a crisp. But yeah,
Wait,
the onion.
was it like charred or was it rotten?
I just remember it being like black. Like
Okay.
the sometimes when you're making a bloomin' onion, it won't be like completely covered up, and you can kind of see the skin on the inside.
Mm-hmm.
And when you overcook those type of bloomin' onions, the skin will get like a darker brown. It won't be like the golden brown that you usually expect from like fried food. But like this time it was just black. So they had overcooked the freak out of the onion. But also on this onion, you'd never believe it, they have raw dredge. Like the flour mix just completely raw on like half of the onion. So you have burned onion, but you also have raw coating. So they're very skilled at their craft of fucking up the food. So
I think they're gunning for the worst reviews in the city.
yeah, they're gunning for the absolute worst onion that they can possibly have. So I take the onion for whatever reason. I take the onion and I take it with me into the bathroom because I'm like, I gotta piss, and
So
maybe
you take the entire bloomin' onion into the bathroom
To use the bathroom?
So maybe
It's
I was
so bad
planning
you
on
have to pee
pissing
on
all
it.
over. Like maybe I was planning on pissing all over it. But
Show your
I
disdain.
take like it was like a carbon copy of the onions that we make in my work, because you had like the wax paper and then the metal plate, and I just took the whole thing with me to the bathroom. I was like, maybe I'll just piss all over it. But that's not what I did. I went into the bathroom and I was like washing my hands, I guess. I think that's like exactly what I was doing. I didn't even use the bathroom. Or maybe I did, and then I was washing my hands and I had like the bloomin' onion sitting on the sink, and
You wanted a bathroom buddy.
yeah, I wanted.
Did it have a face?
Did it what?
Did it have a face? The blooming onion?
No. It just like, if it did have a face, it would be like absolutely repulsive. I think what it was is I needed somebody in the bathroom to like make me look really good, cause like I needed somebody to make me look beautiful in the bathroom.
So you used the blooming onion.
Yeah, I used the blooming onion. Cause it's just so goddamn ugly, and so I get done using the bathroom, and I get out of the stall, and I'm like washing my hands, and I have the bloomin' onion balanced up on the sink, and I knocked the bloomin' onion onto the floor.
I saw that coming.
It fell onto the floor, and like all the raw powder that was just barely clinging onto the bloomin' onion just like sprayed on the ground, and I just like kind of put it back on the plate. I was like, it'll be fine. Just hush, little baby. Don't say a word.
Hush, little baby. Did you start singing to it?
No. I wish I could have. It was a real ugly duckling.
Don't disgrace
But-
the ugly duckling like that.
It was the ugly onion.
The ugly blooming onion.
The ugly bloomed onion. Yeah. So after that, I walked out the back side of the restaurant because apparently there was like a back door
With the
inside.
onion?
No, I just abandoned the onion in the bathroom.
Onion abandonment.
Onion abandonment.
Acting like it's a child.
Yeah, it's like
Child abandonment. Onion
Yeah.
abandonment.
I have no idea where the onion went. I'm kind of glad that it left because oh my god,
The
It was-
onion left?
yeah, the onion just
The onion left.
yeah, like, it just left the
Did
dream.
it walk
It's like-
out the door? I think that would have been funnier.
I think that would have been funnier, but
It
yeah,
just
like you know
disappearing.
how stuff just like disappears in your dreams. It just like disappeared, and I walked out the back door, and like I remember behind the restaurant was. I remember behind the restaurant there was like a bunch of mops hanging up against the wall, which really reinforces the idea that this was just like 88. Oh, it was just the restaurant parading as my own workplace, because like that's what we have as well. And it was like all light outside, and I was like, oh, what a beautiful day. And then I woke up, and that was like the end of the dream.
So did you wake up in a good mood? Mad?
I woke up
sad,
pissed about that onion, I'll tell you what. I was like, god damn, that's the ugliest fucking onion I've ever seen. But
Okay, so bring it together.
bring it together.
Why in the dream did you start in the van, end up on a bike, and then end up in a restaurant late for dinner?
I don't know. Like, okay, so if I'm to think about like the individual parts, I think that part of the reason that I was with that specific person in Susan, because like a lot of the hanging out that we would do before we actually started dating was in my van, like maybe in between classes, or like the first time that we hung out outside of class, that was in my van as well. And I think it was really I think it was really just because I miss having the emotional intimacy that I had with her, because that's like one of the very first people that I've ever really felt like myself around, you know? Like I felt like I could really express how I feel and not how I want to feel around her. And I think like that's something that I've really been missing since we broke up, and that's something that I think was probably contributing to the reason that she showed up in my dream. And then also like I think I ended up on the bike because I really miss mountain biking, to be honest. And I haven't been mountain biking recently just because I don't really have much time. Like I work 5 days a week, and during the day there's not very many places that I can go, and like I need to cook, I need to eat, and I need to get my weightlifting done. So there's just there's no real room for it in my life anymore. And I think that deep down mentally, like my brain misses that. My brain misses mountain biking. You know?
You miss your ex-girlfriend. You
Mhm.
miss mountain biking.
Yeah.
And you miss your blooming onion.
No, to be
That
honest,
was the purpose of
no,
your dream.
that was the purpose. It was all the things that I miss. Yeah, I
No, you
miss
hate
when
the
I
blooming
didn't
onion.
know what bloomin' onions were. I think the bloomin' onion in the dream, it could have just been a representation of how I see all bloomin' onions. I think they're all pretty gross. Like the one that I have had, it was okay. You know, like I've never been like a huge fan of onion rings. I think I actually, one of the first times that I had an onion ring, they forgot to take the membrane out that you have between like the different onion layers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I took a bite out of it, and then it pulled all of the onion out. But I've never really been a big fan of onion rings in general, so like bloomin' onions were bound to not really be my thing. But I don't know. I haven't. Maybe if we're keeping with the theme of things that I miss, I haven't been like out to eat with my family in a really long time. And if I remember correctly, in my dream, there was like a lot of our family was there. I remember definitely that Dad was there, and I'm surprised that he didn't raise any hell over the fucking ugly ass bloomin' onion.
Then you took to the bathroom.
Took to the bathroom, tossed on the floor.
And then it disappeared.
It just
You
disappeared.
abandoned
It
it,
just-
and it disappeared.
Yeah, it was just so.
Maybe it was ashamed because
yeah, it
you
was
abandoned
ashamed
it.
of its own existence, and it just like poof, out of existence.
Cartoony
Yeah.
smoke.
Cartoony smoke
Like
screen.
a little
Disappearance.
cartoony soul.
Not like the Skyward Sword soul. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, but do you guys have any last thoughts to share?
I think that was a pretty funny dream.
Yeah,
And
I do really love the more comedic dreams that I have. They're very great.
Was it confusing? Was it a confusing dream, or was it just funny?
I always knew what I was doing. like in a dream, you always know what's going on. You know, like there's
You don't
no
question. You
yeah,
don't
you
question
just-
the blooming
you just
onion
don't
just
question,
disappearing.
It all
You don't
comes together
question
in
the
the
fact
end,
that
you know what I'm saying?
the van turned into a bike, and your friend just disappeared.
Yeah, and my ex just like out of existence,
Just like the onion.
just like the onion. Yeah,
Stupid
they all just
onion.
everything just poofs out of existence.
Maybe
in
you should
dreams,
change. Maybe you should change the name of this dream to the Bloomin' Onion.
yeah. The bloomin' onion.
Yeah.
But no, I wouldn't want to spoil it. I would hate to spoil
Well,
it.
yeah, that's true.
for the fans,
The fans, the single fan.
the single fan. Mama, do you have any last thoughts?
And that's all, folks.
Hold on, you gotta get all the way in frame. Come on.
And that's all, folks.
Well, as
I did not lip sync very
as
well.
our paper dragon has just said, that is it for the dream and for our final thoughts. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you in another video. Goodbye.